we want to teach everybody how to create a post to generate leads. So there's multiple ways to do that within the kvCORE platform, which is awesome. And before we do that, we're going to get logged in here. So if you want to follow along on your computer, you first go to www.remax.net, and that's going to prompt your Max Center login. From there, you type in your Remax email address along with your password. That will take you to your Max Center dashboard, which looks like this. From here, you want to click the Max Center MAXTECH powered by kvCORE app, and that will take you into the kvCORE system. Okay, so before we actually generate a post, I wanted to first talk about some of the settings within your kvCORE system. So kvCORE, the way you capture leads is through the website that is automatically generated for you. Now you do have the option to customize those websites, and you can get pretty creative with that. You know, it's up to you how you want to implement those different designs, but there's a lot of options out there for you. But with doing so, you want to adjust your settings on how many clicks a consumer has before they are prompted to register. So when they're prompted to register, they have to give you a name, email address, and phone number. So to get to those settings, you're going to want to go to your website manager and then edit settings. From here, you're going to scroll down to the forced registration. So I have mine set up for 3 views. So after the third property, the consumer will then be prompted to give their property information. So Keith, how many do you have? Obviously, there's a strategy to that. Maybe the more click through, you kind of eliminate some of the buyers that are just nosy and kind of poking around.
So anything that I post that is my listing, I want them to be able to look at that house and one other one. Because really, I mean, they may be working with another agent. So if they see it on Facebook, they can go to it. I don't necessarily feel like I need those leads. If they continue to look at houses, then I feel like they're just kind of looking around, and then they'll be forced to register, and then it'll start following up with it. There's other things that I do with much longer registration. So depending on what the post is, so like if I sign somebody up for a list of foreclosures, I will tend to give them more because I know I have their email already. So it's sending stuff out. So they're already registered. So, but it's going to ask them to like officially register again after like 20 or 30 views. And I think they'll just hit, okay, I've been using this for a while. So I think it depends on what your audience is.
Sure. If you want to make any adjustments to this, you simply click the drop-down menu and you can select how many properties in that spot. Once you make your adjustment, just hit save and you're good to go.
So anything that I post that is my listing, I want them to be able to look at that house and one other one. Because really, I mean, they may be working with another agent. So if they see it on Facebook, they can go to it. I don't necessarily feel like I need those leads. If they continue to look at houses, then I feel like they're just kind of looking around, and then they'll be forced to register, and then it'll start following up with it. There's other things that I do with much longer registration. So depending on what the post is, so like if I sign somebody up for a list of foreclosures, I will tend to give them more because I know I have their email already. So it's sending stuff out. So they're already registered. So, but it's gonna ask them to like officially register again after like 20 or 30 views. And I think they'll just hit, okay, I've been using this for a while. So I think it depends on
What you're doing.
what your audience is.
Sure. Okay. So now that we have that taken care of, let's talk about the different types of posts. Starting with posting a singular property. So you're going to want to go to listings. Once you're within listings, you can create and select different filters from all listings to agency listings. That way, you're only posting listings within our RE/MAX First Advantage brokerage. And it's good courtesy to make sure if you're not posting listings that aren't your own, please, by all means, reach out to the listing agent. Everybody has varying opinions about, the exposure of their property by another real estate agent. Just make sure that listing agent is okay with you marketing their property. So from here, let's, for example, let's pick a property here. Let's find one in Pennsylvania. Let's select a property here in Pennsylvania. We're going to use 658 Fishing Creek Road. And there's several different ways that you can post this. So typically you're going to be posting these to your social media site. And again, there's multiple ways of doing this. Keith, I know you like to typically take this direct link
right
here at the top right.
So you can just copy that link and put it right into your post.
Yep.
And I do that because I usually have Facebook open on another tab, and or on another screen, and I just kind of flip back and forth.
So showing you how that works, you can copy that right there, open a new tab, type in Facebook. You might already have that open. And then you can just simply, depending on what profile you're in, so if you don't know how, up here in the top right of Facebook, you can switch your profiles. So to see all your profiles, you go to that, see all pages, and then you can pick where you want to post. Now, typically, Keith, you post on your business page first.
I post on my business page and then I share it to my personal page.
So
and then from my personal page, I share it to other places because I'm not a member of groups as my business.
Right. So from here, you will go to create a post. And then we just Control V or right click, paste, and that link will be pasted right into Facebook. Drop that in there, and then folks have the ability to click on that link and get more information about that property. And then as they start snooping around, they'll be prompted to register with their contact information. And like Keith said, once you create this post, I'm going to go ahead and create this on my business page. You can then go ahead. You're actually going to want to go up here and adjust. I'm going to adjust to my personal page. And then I'm going to come down here and hit share. And I'm not going to share this to my feed at this point, but you would share now to public, and that will go to your personal page and show up to all your friends. So that's a good way of posting singular properties to Facebook. Jumping back over to my kvCORE tab, there's another way that you can do that without copying the direct link. You can actually go here to more actions, and assuming that you have post to Facebook, your Facebook profile is hooked up with your kvCORE platform, you can click right into post to Facebook, and it will take you to your personal page. Again, that kind of goes against the strategy though that Keith and I like to use to post first to your business, then share to your Facebook page. And then Keith, do you want to at this time kind of talk about how you actually share to a group?
Right. So once it's on my personal page, then I hit share again, and I'm a member of multiple different groups, and it used to be really easy to share. You could do it all at once, but I copy whatever the text is without the link, and then I post it in my group, and then I write, the first comment is the link. So you need a picture. There's extra steps when you post it in a group. Because most groups, if you put a link in the post, they'll kick you out, or they'll kick that post out. It's a set on Facebook. It's not necessarily the group. Some have it turned on, some don't. So if you can post in some group and it allows links, you can just share directly. If they don't allow you sharing links, you can still post it, click the picture, just put the picture in there, and then say, the link to the description and all the pictures is the first comment, and you can post the link in the comment. Is that confusing? Yeah.
All this can be obviously a little overwhelming because there's so much that you can do with all this, but posting to a group like this is a good way to get additional exposure on your property and catch people that are outside of your friend network. How many people are in your Facebook group?
40,000.
40,000 compared to maybe the 700, 1,500, 2,000 some friends that you have on your personal page. You're now associating with far more people. So that kind of covers posting a individual listing to Facebook. Let's get out of here and go back into our kvCORE. Let's talk about posting some of these individual landing pages and squeeze pages. Keith, do you want to kind of give us a rundown of some of the landing and squeeze pages?
So a landing page is a website unto itself. So if you click on that, you gotta select a domain. If you click on that, it's going to show you a picture, and that's what they're going to see. And everything there is editable, if that's a word. So you can use this for individual properties. A popular one is, that I use is sign up for open house. You'll get an open house email every week. And everybody that signs up from there has the hashtag, and we'll talk about that in a second. So you know where they come from, and you sign them up in that specific list that they get. So it could be anything price reductions, a specific neighborhood. So you could, if you have a neighborhood development, let's just call it Stonegate. You could have Stonegate's real estate information, and you set up a search that's tied to that hashtag, and anytime a house is listed, they'll get notified. So that's its own separate website that's used to get leads, and they have to register in order to get signed up. So if they sign up, you're about 99% sure it's a real email, because otherwise they won't get the list. And then there is, so over on the left-hand side at the top, it says lead generation. There's a whole bunch of different templates that you can use to get different things. So if you click on address capture, that's going to be, that would be the one I would use for perhaps that one I was talking about, like a neighborhood. So you could say, hey, a bunch of houses have sold in Stonegate. Would you like to know how those sales have affected your property value? And so they would enter their address, and then on the next screen, it's going to ask them to enter their information. But even if they don't enter their email, you have their address, so you can start mailing. They may be interested in selling. So you have to play around in there there's a whole bunch of different things that you can use it for. And if you ever have an idea of, hey, I want to market to these people using X, Y, or Z, give me a call and I'd be happy to be like, well, I would probably use this, and this is what I would put in it too.
This landing page stuff, you can get extremely creative. I mean, there's people out there, if there's a desirable school district that you want to put out there, this creates a link for you, and you can put it out on Facebook and other social media sites, but you could put something to the effect of, Cumberland Valley in our area is a desired school district. Newest Cumberland Valley listing, sign up here. And like Keith talked about the open houses, it could be, for you guys, hey, here's the most recent open houses in Franklin County or Adams County.
Or the weekly list that gets sent out. I send a list out every Thursday of the open houses coming, so you can plan your weekend if you want to go look at it.
Weekly open house list in Franklin, Adams County.
And once you set it up, anybody that signs up on it, and you can reuse these after you make them, they continue to go to your same bucket. So you don't have to do anything. Once you set it, it's just keep feeding the machine. Okay. So then there's squeeze pages, which are not their own separate website. They go directly back to your site. So that would be the single property that we just did. You can do a single property post. You can do a multi-property post. You can do all the sold properties. You can post a seller squeeze, which just they enter their address to get a valuation. You can create a market report that just sends out, here's what's happened in this time frame. But so the single property, if you go to that one real quick, Brooks, this is just like the other one we looked at. The only difference is the hashtags. So hashtags are how you figure out where your people are coming from, or however you want to categorize the leads coming in. So if I post something on my West Shore yard sale page, I'll put in that it was West Shore yard sale. So I know everybody that clicks on that link came from that source. You can make the hashtags whatever you want. You can make 1,000,001 hashtags and super like divide your groups, or you could make general hashtags of like buyer seller, or get even a little more and be like West Shore buyer, or Chambersburg buyer, or Perry County buyer. So you have to decide how you want to configure it.
Yeah, and to add a little bit to that, obviously it's labeling these leads within your smart CRM system. And this is beneficial in a lot of ways. It allows you, most importantly to me, once that lead comes in, now you can filter through your CRM, and then you can also create automatic actions where they're enrolled in a drip email campaign, a drip text message campaign. Those sorts of actions are a benefit of properly labeling them with this hashtag system.
So you want to use single property, in my opinion, for just listed, pendings, just solds, price reductions, trying to get the word out about a specific listing. And then there's multi-property, which you use to gather leads, and it's an automatic search setup for them. So it's very similar to the landing page we just talked about, but this one they don't sign up and then you use a hashtag. You already have this search set up for them. So it can be a county, it can be a town, it can be an area. You can type in where you want it to be. You can draw on a map where you want it to be. So click on that real quick and we'll I gotta get a little closer because I didn't click on the multi-property.
Yep.
So drawing a map is a lot what I use. You can use a school district, but say you want to just be around Chambersburg, downtown, you can specifically just draw your, it's like on Bright. You can
Expand.
edit. And then if you only want high price listings, or you only want low price listings, or you only want 2 bedrooms, I mean, you can get hyper
Specific.
detailed. Don't ever use kvCORE. And then if you click on options at the bottom, so you could just make a list of just listed, so they'll only get notified when something is listed in that box, or they'll only get listed if it's a new, right? They only get the list if it's a new build that it gets posted. Does that make sense? And then the style up at the top is if you want to just get like only 2 stories, or only ranches, or only a specific, oh, that's interesting. Only a specific type of house. And so wherever you're going to post this is what you put the source up at the top. So, and you ladies are in Shippensburg? Okay, both in Chambersburg. Okay, so this, do you post on Facebook or? Okay, so let's put this as Facebook. And then what would you call this if you were going to make a hashtag for this? It's downtown Chambersburg, wasn't it? Maybe investors Chambersburg. So for that, you might want, you can't put a space in it though. No other characters other than letters can go in your hashtag. Okay, so then go to listing type, since we know what we're looking for now, left top. And so we probably want multifamilies and single families only, right? So we're going to select multifamily, and then we're going to select single family. And then, you know what? It's investors. You might want to put rentals in there as well, so they can see what the other rents are going for, right? That's yeah. Okay. So, the only thing we have left to choose is what we want to use as our picture and how many times they can look at it without registering. So the Facebook cover photo, you have an option of picking inside the search area, outside the search area. For something that detailed, I would say even if it's outside, because the likelihood of multiple things being listed, I don't know. And then you can change how many times they can look at pictures. And then if you hit generate link, it'll give you a direct link and a short link. They both go to the same space. One's just shorter and doesn't say Brooks Watts in it. So click on that short link and paste it into Facebook, so they can see what's going to come up and what it's going to say. So one of the things I don't like about this is the description from your picture. See what it has to say. This one actually might be good. Oh, how did you get that to say your one-stop shop for PA real estate? Usually it comes up and it says it'll say Chambersburg, downtown Chambersburg, rentals and multifamily. Like it's actual, like the name of the search. So now everybody that clicks on that post is going to go directly back to your website. They are going to, so click on the post and let's or put the don't click on the post, just paste it into a blank new browser.
Yeah.
And so there's 2 listings in there, and so every time that changes, you can set it up to, or every time they go back to that link, every time they log in, they're going to go back to the screen. This screen, right? Because but if they go back and if they start searching other places, as soon as they click on the second picture, they're going to be asked to register. And it'll remember them. So if they go back, it'll say, you still need to register. And the benefit is that if you're on Facebook, the reason I picked this website company was because when they click log in with Facebook, you get their information automatically. Of course, it may not be correct. So I'm sure my phone number is correct, but my email is like a really old email that I signed up with Facebook for.
That's kind of all I really wanted to generally cover here today, except let's go back to this one. So,
the seller squeeze,
yeah, to me, in today's market, the seller squeeze is something that I would be focusing on, because obviously the listings are gold right now. So if you can get people that are interested in selling, that's going to be really beneficial to you. So what this does is it gives you a link that you can post to a social media site, and you can use it as a AVM tool, an automated value model tool. So you post that out there, giving them a instant market report or an AVM, and you can capture seller information and then put them on a follow-up campaign.
And typically people will put their address in and they won't register, but you already have their address, so you can put them in your mailings.
Cool.
All right.